What's up? My name is Billy, back here again on Pub Sports Radio. Here today, we are talking about Draftkings Week 1 pricing and who to play for Week 1. Make sure you follow Pub Sports Radio, hit the subscribe button on the video below, and make sure you check out mybookie.ag and use promo code PubSports. I'm going to get right into it. I have the quarterback section set up right here. Let me know in the comment section if this sheet is a little bit too blurry for you guys to see. The first quarterback I'm going to talk about is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson makes for a great game stack for this weekend for GPP. I kind of want to shy away from him a little bit in cash games because I feel like I can get the same upside at a cheaper price. Coming down, my pay-up option for cash games this week is going to be Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is $6,700. I really like what the floor that he gives you on a week-to-week basis, and I kind of like some of his pass catchers as well for this upcoming week. One of them I'll talk about later on in this video. Going down a little bit in this mid-range option, I like Kyler Murray for season long this week. I kind of like Carson Wentz just a little bit more. This is a great matchup for him. He makes for a great cash game stackable option with his pass catching options. You kind of know where the targets are going to go there. As you can see, Carson Wentz had a pretty good season last year, had a couple down games. The only concern for Carson Wentz would be the offensive line situation that they have going on down there in Philadelphia right now. They have a lot of moving pieces in the offensive line. But going down a little bit, the cheapest option that I really like a lot in cash games, and you don't really have to stack him with anybody, is Cam Newton. Cam Newton, he should be in a great spot this week against the Miami Dolphins in a home situation. I really do like Cam Newton this week. He makes for a great cash game option. Going to the RB position, this one's a little bit different, I feel like. First things first, play Christian McCaffrey. Don't lose your money in cash games and not play Christian McCaffrey. He's by far the best running back in fantasy football. There's no Ezekiel Elliott or Dalvin Cook on this slate, so Christian McCaffrey is in a slam spot here against the Las Vegas Raiders, who are coming from the West Coast to an East Coast game. I always like to attack those type of spots. But if you don't feel like paying for Christian McCaffrey, I can kind of see the upside in Dalvin Cook. Green Bay was one of the best matchups last year for the running back position. I can pull up some of his game log games from last year. He had 31 points against Green Bay at Green Bay last year. That shows the type of upside that Dalvin Cook can have in this matchup. But going down a little bit, instead of picking a guy like Alvin Kamara, I kind of want to go to a guy like Austin Eckler. The only concern with Austin Eckler is Tyrod Taylor's ability to dump off passes in the passing game. As you can see, Austin Eckler is just a good workhorse back. He gets a lot of targets in the passing game too because he lines up in the slot. And with Mike Williams potentially being out this week, you can definitely see Austin Eckler getting a little bit more of that target share in the backfield, cutting into the receiving game. My fault for stuttering there a little bit. But I think the best overall play on the slate and at the running back position, if he's healthy, is Miles Sanders. He practiced today, which was it says that he was a limited participant in practice today, but it's Wednesday. As long as he's there for Thursday and Friday, I really don't care. This makes for the best play of the slate. This is a mispricing here, $6,300. Make sure you get him in all your lineups this week. Even if he does see 70% of the running back targets and rushing carries, it will be enough to get it done in this spot. Going down a little bit, I don't really want to get into the lower, cheaper range at running back. You just kind of want to play the chalk at running back and kind of get different elsewhere because as I'll show you in the wide receiver position, the wide receiver position is kind of wide open. There's a little bit mispricing of guys. Like you can obviously play Michael Thomas at home against Tampa Bay. As you can see, Michael Thomas averaged 28.9 fantasy points per game last year in home games in the Dome down there in New Orleans. But I kind of like a guy like Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams seems like a misprice on this slate at $7,300. But it would be interesting to see how this injury news kind of breaks down for the week. As you can see, this is one of the cheapest prices that we're going to see on Devontae Adams for the season. Last year, he only went below 73,000 two different times, and that was probably because of injury concerns with him coming back. But Chris Godwin here, if Mike Evans is out for this weekend, that's when the injury news to really watch on this slate. Chris Godwin becomes a must-have on this slate, but right now he's just a GPP option. Adam Thielen also like. Obviously, his target share is just through the roof this year with Stephon Diggs leaving. I always like attacking vacated target positions. Going down a little bit, Keenan Allen is also there at $6,400. I'm not going to click on the name, but with Mike Williams being out this week, I can definitely see Keenan Allen getting all the targets over there. The only thing is the game environment isn't too nice over there, but this $5,000 range is really where you're going to see some mispricing for this week. Forgot to put up the cash game wide receivers for this week, but I didn't want to give it away right off the grip. Scary Terry's $5,600. I know the Eagles just got Darius Slayton over the offseason, but our secondary is still very questionable, and Scary Terry is going to get all the targets for this Washington football team. And even though they don't have a high implied win total for this upcoming Sunday, I really do like Scary Terry. I forgot to talk about this in the running back position, but the free square of the week is also from the Washington Redskins. I'm just going to type in his name instead of trying to find it. Antonio Gibson's $4,000 min pricing. This year, DraftKings min pricing is $4,000. Usually he would be a $3,000 play, but Antonio Gibson at $4,000 is the absolute steal of the slate. He is the free square that you need in your lineup. Right now, he's listed as the running back number 2, but Washington is in need for just playmakers in general. And if this game script goes like how Vegas says it goes, you will definitely see a lot of Antonio Gibson in the receiving game. Hopefully, he can get that Chris Thompson type of role over J.D. McKissick, and he can be in a smash spot at $4,000. I think that is the free square of the week. I forgot to name that in the running back position, but I'll plug in Miles Sanders and Antonio Gibson as core pieces. But going back down to this $5,000 range on the wide receiver position, I really like Marquise Brown at $5,100. He's priced right around Jameson Crowder and Henry Ruggs, but I don't feel like they pose the same exact upside as Marquise Brown. I kind of want to take pieces of this Baltimore game. They have one of the highest team totals on the slate, and if they do have one of the highest team totals on the slate, I definitely feel like Marquise Brown can definitely give you a splash game here, especially without Greedy Williams, the quarterback for the Browns. He is most likely to be out for this week. So that even boosts up Marquise Brown a little bit more. The Eagles wide receiver situation is one to monitor going into this weekend. Deshaun Jackson's below $5,000. $4,900 for Deshaun Jackson's is a steal. As you can see, he splashed week 1 last year in the same exact spot against the Redskins. He had 38 fantasy points. And then going down a little bit, he's not listed here, but Jalen Reagor, he practiced in full today, so he looks like a full go. If you want to throw a GPP target at him, I feel like $4,300 definitely is a good price tag for Jalen Reagor, but I'm more inclined to go to a guy like Deshaun Jackson. For this core, though, I'll plug in Terry McLaurin. And then for the tight end position, this is kind of where you can get different this week. You have George Kittle there at $7,200 in the perfect matchup against Arizona, who basically gave up the most tight end fantasy points last year for the position and the most yards after catch for any position. So George Kittle is definitely a guy, if you can get up there in pricing, I feel like he's more of a FanDuel play than a DraftKings play, but I'll talk about that in my FanDuel video tomorrow. But going down a little bit, I do like Zach Ertz at $5,800. He should see all the targets over there in Philadelphia. He can definitely give you a spike week here. He's kind of gives you wide receiver upside at the tight end position. There's no Travis Kelce on this slate, so you can kind of get different there with Zach Ertz at $5,800. Also, I think this guy is going to be one of the more cashier tight ends of the week is Hayden Hurst. He's making his first appearance for Atlanta Falcons, and Seattle is historically known for having bad tight end defense. But with a guy like Jamal Adams there, who's to say that they can't get better over the tight end position? But Hayden Hurst makes for a great week 1 play. Right now, I think I'm going to plug in Zach Ertz for this build, though. Also, at the tight end position, I'm going to talk about 2 more guys. As you see in the video right there in the bottom banner, Jack Doyle, $3,600. Phillip Rivers historically likes to target the tight end position. Jack Doyle is probably going to be the second target leader for the Colts this year, and I do like him in this spot at $3,600. If he can find his way into the end zone, he could definitely have a good cash game week 1. And then the last guy I want to talk about is $2,800 starting tight end for the Washington football team, Logan Thomas. I don't really expect a lot from him, but if he can get you 40 yards with 4 catches here in this game, Washington, like I said earlier, is struggling for playmakers in general. So Logan Thomas is definitely a considerable option if you're striving for value at $2,800. I could definitely see myself playing him. I'm not going to talk too much about defenses. Defenses in general, I kind of want to pick a cheap defense. I'm probably going to either pick the Jets or the Washington football team. But for this build, I'm going to pick the Washington football team. And then to fill out the lineup, we're going to put in Cam Newton in the flex. Got to put in Christian McCaffrey, get all the points to Christian McCaffrey. And then we're going to plug in Marquise Brown. And then we're going to plug in Deshaun Jackson. And you will have $200 remaining over for your cash game build. You can also get off of Cam Newton on this build and get up to Carson Wentz, who's also $6,300. And that's kind of the type of cash game build that I'm looking at for week 1 DraftKings. Make sure you drop in the comment section below of the video your start sit questions and what defense that you're going to play this week for DraftKings week 1.